Chapter 12, Module 10, Continue. Second part. Ethics is the systematic thinking about the moral consequences of decisions. Stakeholders is defined as the people inside or outside of an organization who have the potential to be affected by organizational decisions. Unethical behavior tempts managers and employees. They sometimes succumb. They still feel they have higher moral standards than their peers. Nature of ethical dilemmas. Here we encounter issues covered in corporate codes of ethics. For example, bribery, proper payment, conflict of interests, security of proprietary information, receiving gifts, discrimination, equal opportunity, giving gifts. For example, employees 40%, 84%, 48% with suppliers and vendors, and 26% when it is with joint venture partners. And here we have the list: environment, sexual harassment, antitrust, workplace safety, political activities, community relations, confidentiality of personal information, human rights, employee privacy, whistleblowing, substance abuse, nepotism, and child labor. Here we have the different percentages perceived in ethical problems. Themes that define moral standards for decision making: honest communication, fair treatment, special consideration, 4. Fair competition, 5. Responsibility to organization, 6. Corporate social responsibility, 7. Respect for law, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Causes of unethical behavior: gain, with low expectations of punishment. Role conflict. Example, customer needs versus organizational needs. Competition, especially very stiff or total lack of competition. Personality of individuals. Organizational and industry culture. Whistleblowing is the disclosure of illegitimate practices by a current or former organizational member to some person or organization that may be able to take action to correct these practices. Sexual harassment is defined as unethical behavior that stems in part from the abuse of power and a gender power imbalance in the workplace. Coercion of sexual cooperation by threat of job-related consequences. Unwanted and offensive sex-related verbal or physical conduct. Most vulnerable are those who cannot afford to lose their jobs. Many organizations practice deaf ear syndrome, inaction or complacency in the face of sexual harassment charges. Main reasons for inaction: inadequate policies, procedures, defensive managerial reactions, organizational features that contribute to inertial tendencies. Recommendations for dealing with sexual harassment: examine the characteristics of deaf ear organizations. Second, foster management support and education. Third, stay vigilant. 4. Take immediate action. 5th, create a state-of-the-art policy. And 6th, establish clear reporting procedures. Employ ethical guidelines. 1. Identify all stakeholders affected by decisions. 2. Identify costs and benefits of alternatives to these stakeholders. 3. Consider moral expectations. 4. Be familiar with common ethical dilemmas in your organization or profession. Employ ethical guidelines. 5. Discuss ethical matters with decision stakeholders and others. 6. Convert your ethical judgments into appropriate action. 7. Training and education in ethics has positive impact on ethical attitudes. This is the end of the chapter and module 10.